Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Mondo Stereo, the world in 3 dimensions. Look at these hands. Wow, I got big hands. I can touch everything and I can touch you. No, I cannot touch you. Don't be afraid. I'm here in my home in Germany where I'm recording these YouTube movies episodes. And I'm not in the jungle. It's all special effects. All special effects. Don't trust me a thing. I want to talk about two very good three-dimensional movies from the 1950s. The one is from 1953 and the other one is from 1954. The first one is freshly restored last year. Oh, there's the hand. There's the hand. It's Sangaree, starring Fernando Lamos, Arlene Dahl, and Patricia Medina. It's from 1953. It's a movie that plays in the state of Georgia. It's a romantic adventure. I can read to you a few lines here. After the Revolutionary War, the dying General Darby bequeaths, je nachdem, his Georgia plantation to Dr. Carlos Morales, the son of an indentured servant who has been raised and educated by Darby. The general's daughter tries to break her father's will in order to control the estate and to stop the creation of a group of free medical clinics for the poor to be overseen by Dr. Carlos. The true culprits behind her opposition are her fiancé, Harvey Bristol, and his father, Dr. Bristol, who have their eyes set on the Derby holdings. A plague outbreak in Savannah complicates matters further in Sangaree, the first three-dimensional film in Technicolor directed by Hollywood veteran Edward Ludwig. Oder Edward Ludwig, wie man on Germany sagen würde. This is a most beautiful, wonderful film. If you like films from the 1950s, which I do, it got certain subliminal, erotic, sensational scenes when the two main characters are on the boat together and trying to get in touch with each other. The man likes the woman and shows her that. The woman likes the man and doesn't show him that. It goes on for 10 or 5 minutes. It's a really very good scene. Also, the 3D staging is done very well. The colors are good. The film is sharp. Sometimes it's hard to talk about movies you love because you see them and you fall in love at an instant. And this is what happened to me with Sangaree. I did not know anything about this movie. I had my lists of classical 3D movies from the 1950s. 50 movies are made, and you know The Creature from the Black Lagoon, It Came from Outer Space, House of Wax, Kiss Me Kate, and Sangaree. I always thought, what might it be? Is really boring shit. And then it is released on 3D Blu-ray by the 3D Film Archive, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, you absolutely do know nothing about anything, because this movie is really good. I would recommend it to every 3D movie interested man or woman or entity on this planet. Buy this thing. It's region code A. It's restored beautifully. It's got a radio show extra and a before and after restoration demo, because this is the real marvel what the 3D Film Archive does to these movies. They have been shot back then in the 1950s, really professional, but you can't avoid certain errors in the stereoscopic film image plane. You have vertical errors and geometrical distortions that could not have been corrected in further times, but now that we're gonna have these things scanned and they are digitally in front of us, and so we can correct everything. And I'm saying not we, the 3D Film Archive can correct everything, and there are really true masters of doing this on a microscopic budget. But if you like this one, then I'm very sure you love this one. Jivaro. Do not spell it Jivaro or something like that. It's Jivaro. It's Spanish. It's a film from 1954. Again with Fernando Lamas as a Latin lover. But we have Rhonda Fleming in the female leading role. And this movie has not been shown in 3D in the 1950s. It ran only flat back then in the cinemas. Because the 3D hype was getting down and they did not want to spend money in 3D prints. So they ran it in 2D only, but very good thing, they kept the negatives in the vault and did not lose them or destroy them, and so the 3D Film Archive could get them and restore them as well. And this is really the first time in movie history that we can watch, we the 3D film lovers can watch this movie in 3 dimensions. If you have attended the 3D Film Expo in 2006, somewhere in the United States of America, then you could have seen it coming from real film reels, uncorrected. But this is now totally restored, sharp image, vibrant colors, clear dialogue, clear soundtrack, everything you wanted, you got it with this thing. And I have my personal top 3 of classical movies from the 1950s, and this one is now the leader. I have to say that this is the leader. It's before House of Wax, it's before It Came from Outer Space, and so on, because it's staged so very well. It's in color, and these guys really knew how to shoot in 3D, and it's a really, really sad thing that they never got to see what they did. Because, as I mentioned, this thing only ran flat in the cinemas back then. There's a shot-by-shot stereoscopic analysis done by Mike Bellew, who dug into the depth of archives to find the protocols when they were shooting these films. They wrote it down. Today we shot scene number 2014. We used 14mm lenses in a distance of so and so much inches. And you can really learn a lot if you're into 3D movie making from this special feature. Also, there's an audio commentary where you can hear Jack Theakston, sorry sir, and Greg Kins, Hilary Hess, and also Mike Bellew. Man, the 3D Film Archive is really doing a good thing to us movie film lovers. It's region code A, you can buy it and pop it into your Blu-ray player in Northern America and Southern America. If you're located in Germany like I am, or somewhere else in the world, you have to get yourself a region code free player, but this is mandatory anyway if you're a serious film collector. So these are 2 movies from the 3D Film Archive that I really, really want to recommend to any film interested person. Sangaree with Fernando Lamas on Arlene Dahl and Patricia Medina, and Jivaro with Fernando Lamas, Rhonda Fleming, and Brian Keith. Also, there's a tell me what's his name? Lon Chaney Jr. for a 3-minute scene also in this movie. And there's a severed head. Yes, a severed head, a shrunken head. Jivaros are a tribe. I did not tell about the story of this movie. I'm gonna read to you what's printed on the back. Alice Parker arrives at the Brazilian trading outpost of Rio Galdes in search of her fiancé, Jerry Russell, an alcoholic engineer who has ventured into a headhunter country on a quest for gold. And gold they will find, but they will not live to spend it. Watch it by yourself. Don't you dare to get any illegal copies of these movies from the 3D Film Archive. Buy these things. Support those people who spend lifetime on restoring these movies so that we can watch them at home. I will order every movie they are going to release. And as a little birdie has told me, this year are in the pipeline at least three more releases from the 3D Film Archive. 3D Rarities Part 2, and then, yes, Parasite. Parasite will come out in October for Halloween. The Demi Moore film from 1982. You'll be astounded. I'll be astounded. I'm going to really wait for this. So, yeah. Heartily, not heartily, heartily, very, very much recommended. Very good movies, very good restoration, worth every cent. Sangaree and Jivaro, Jivaro, Jivaro. Sangaree, Sangaree, Jivaro, Jivaro. Sangaree, Sangaree, Jivaro. Oh man, this man is crazy. Yes, he is.